I have been strug to funk recently. That's struggling to function, as per Jonathan from Queer Eye. A lot of things have kind of went down in my life, and I didn't have a camera. I haven't uploaded it on YouTube for so long, and I'm kind of thinking about like rebranding my whole shtick and everything that I do. So for today, I thought I would strug to funk some more. I'm going to do my entire face using makeup that I don't like. And there's a lot of it. I thought I have been kind of good with throwing things away, but apparently not. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to struggle some more, and hopefully you can enjoy watching that. I am drinking some like real Arabic coffee that I got from my friend, and it's giving me a big kick in the ass because for some reason it just works better than regular coffee. I think it's green coffee. It's just not really roasted as much as like Western or Southern European coffee is, but I'm enjoying it a lot. Okay, to start us off with some shitty primer, this is Avon. This is Magic's Face Perfector with SPF 20, and this is just a silicone-based primer that feels icky and doesn't fill in your pores. You literally have one job and you don't even do it. Then we've got this fantastic Maybelline New York Dream Matte Mousse Foundation, and it says it's with primer, so I guess I just put some pore filling primer underneath just on my cheeks. So the rest of my face will be primed with this foundation, but what it basically is this like moussey consistency. I've used this before and it feels pretty cool, like it smells really like quite nice, but it just doesn't really work. I tried it with a beauty blender the first time I was doing it, and it was not blending at all. The only way you can do it is with your fingers or with a brush. I can't cope with doing my foundation just with my fingers, so I'm gonna have to use this stippling brush. This is like a weird Amazon firm. I mean, you're just gonna see what this foundation does. This is in the shade Light Porcelain, and well, it's nowhere near Light Porcelain, really. It actually isn't as bad as I remembered it to be. It actually covers quite nicely, but my problem with it is that the way this like emphasizes your texture and literally everything on your skin, it's ridiculous. And I didn't even put that much, but it's already emphasizing a lot, but the coverage isn't all that great at the same time. So, I mean, it's not a great kind of start. If I'm going to, you know, sacrifice texture, I would at least like this to cover really well, but it doesn't even do that. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's such like nothing coverage, and if I wanted my foundation to, you know, if I wanted to wear like a really light, you know, zero coverage natural makeup kind of foundation, I would just put on BB cream or like really light drugstore foundation that doesn't emphasize everything that's on my skin. Like, damn. It doesn't look so bad on camera though, so this look might not be like that terrible. Some of the people like doing this challenge are like really struggling with actually looking human at the end of the video. I wish I could also see how it kind of gets stuck in my facial hair. I know that's quite a lot to ask of foundation to not get stuck in coarse facial hair, but a lot of my foundations don't because they are blendable, and this thing is just not. And this is going to be a gag because I actually used this concealer in one of my earlier videos where I said that I ran out of foundation and I used this all over my face. So this concealer is actually in the shade beige, and this is the second shade. This is what I usually would use, and it's so fucking dark, I swear to God. So one, it's dark. Two, it's, well, obviously not brightening, and three, it doesn't actually cover dark circles very much because it's so, well, dark. So it worked as my all over the face kind of a deal, but I'm pretty sure this is going to be fucking, yeah, it's like almost darker than this foundation. And kind of, because of the color, I think, because of the shade, it just seems to have this like weird grey undertone, which kind of continues the sullenness of my under eyes. But surprisingly, on camera, this is not looking so bad, but don't you fucking worry. If you've come to this video wanting someone to make a clown of themselves on camera, that's coming, because my eyeshadow palette and some of the other stuff I have are, there's no saving those. I only have a powder that I don't like, so I just set my face with some Laura Mercier powder. It's not like this foundation was supposed to need that, because it's supposed to be like super mousse and matte and powdery finish. But you know, I'm just doing what I usually do. So next up, for some bronzer and contour. This is a palette that I actually kind of like, I broke. This is Makeup Revolution palette. And it's a blush palette, and I've actually reviewed this on my channel and gave it a positive review. The highlights are really nice. I think the blushes, I don't like shimmery blushes, so I don't really like them. But these two bronzing and contouring shades, I mean, those are like something else. So I'm just gonna grab a smaller brush, and I'm thinking of going into this lighter one here. It doesn't really blend very well, and it's kind of muddy, I guess. It's kind of too roasted for bronzer. Like, when I think bronzer, I kind of think like chocolate or, you know, sun-kissed, not like burned. This may well be like the problem with the shade, but it's not like this palette doesn't actually come in more shades. This is like what they give you, and you gotta just work with that, so I feel okay judging it. Yeah, this doesn't really bronze anything up, but kind of gave me this weird shadow here. Load up any of my other videos and look at just how beautiful the L'Oreal Glam Bronzer makes me. And when you actually look at them side by side, you know, they are not that different in color, but this is just so much more like sun-kissed and pleasing to the eye. So for blush, I did say I don't like shimmery blushes, and this blush is by Bourjois, and it smells so good. It smells like candy, and this is in the shade Jasper Rose. What's wrong with this is that it is extremely shimmery, and it further emphasizes my pores that I can't seem to have covered with the Avon primer. It emphasizes everything that's on my cheeks, and there's a lot. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, so I end up with like this weird, because it doesn't blend very well either, I ended up with this weird kind of like sheen here on my cheek, or under the hollow of my cheek, which looks a little bit out of place. So while it has shimmer, it also doesn't have that much pigment either. So we keep wanting to add more and more and more, which adds the color eventually, but by then you've got like a ton of fucking highlight on your cheek, and that's just not okay. Let me do my brows. I actually used to do my brows with this when I wasn't all that great with them. This is a brow pencil in number 10 dark brown from Eyelure. This is a very like kind of generic Boots drugstore firm. They do a lot of eyelashes as well, and they sold me this eye pencil, which I think is horrible. It needs like warming up on the hand before it can leave any kind of pigment on, you know, in your brows. It has a very fat tip, obviously, because it's a pencil that you need to sharpen like every fucking time you use it. Remember what I said about the foundation, that it's quite a lot to require it not to bunch up and not blend into skin on your hair?
Stop it. Get some help.
Hair on your skin? Well, remember eyebrows? Most people have those. I just realized that it's bunching up and it has not blended just around the hairs of my eyebrow. So while most people who wear makeup don't have facial hair, most people who wear makeup have real eyebrow hairs. And that, ladies and gentlemen, and other folk of this earth, is why foundation should have to deal with hair on your skin. Pencil is horrible. My brows look very like grey and ashy, So for highlight, I totally forgot to do this cream highlight. This is from MUA Makeup Academy Undress Your Skin Illuminating Liquid Glow in the shade Oyster. I forgot to put this under the powder, and I don't have any powder highlight that I don't like. I used to have some and I kind of threw them away. So what I'm going to do is kind of try to put this on my beauty blender and see if I can blend this into just the top of my cheek already, because technically it shouldn't, be a total no-no with cream highlights to put it on top of powder. Like if you put Iconic London stuff on top of powder, it's actually not the end of the world. What I don't like about this highlight is that it doesn't blend. It grabs, and I know this is a poor demonstration of this because I put this on top of powder. Over here it's actually not that bad. It's pretty seamless. It's very kind of ethereal glow, but over here already it's for some reason not wanting to blend. So it is a lot of kind of, a struggle to do this. What I do like is the actual shade. I think it matches my skin a lot and makes it look very kind of natural. So I guess the other powder highlight that I have is actually from right next to my favorite bronzer, the L'Oreal bronzer that you've seen on my channel for so many fucking decades. And if any of you have never noticed, it actually has a little highlighting booth there, but I've used it before and it doesn't work, so let me just demonstrate to you what a non-existent highlight looks like. Okay, my camera had just stopped recording and I needed to go look at the footage to see where I had stopped off, and this is actually looking really good on the footage, on video. And I assure you that it doesn't in real life. I swear to fuck, this is supposed to be a big disaster. But please, please, please give me the chance to show you just how terrible this eyeshadow is that I'm about to do my entire eyes with. So what I was saying about this highlight is that it is very subtle, but at the same time, I can't find a fault with it, to be honest. This fucking quad, or this fucking little compact is so good. The bronzer is really good, and apparently now the highlight is good as well. So just call me a con, I don't care. This was supposed to be makeup that I don't like kind of challenge, but some of these things just seem to work okay, I guess. I don't know why. Maybe under criticism, under my heavy words of criticism, they've pulled up and started doing their job. The thing that definitely is not saving the day is the foundation. I looked into the mirror, and the foundation is actually not blended at all into my facial hair, and I don't even have that much of it. So yeah, that's a big no. And the bronzer is absolutely very blotchy and burnt almost, so that's disgusting. So for eyeshadow, I think some of you very early troopers have seen this on my channel. This is the beautiful Lorac Beginners Collection 120 Summer Eyeshadows. And of course it's a knockoff name from Lorac, I'm pretty sure, and all of these shadows cost, I think, £9. You can buy this palette on Amazon. I think you know exactly what the problem with this is. All of these shadows, every single one, apart from some of these shimmers, but I mean, it's just not worth the hassle. They're just bad. It's like 90% mica. It all falls apart, flows everywhere, flies around your face. There's a lot of fallout and not a lot of pigment, especially in these really electric colors. Like, oh my god, there's all of these greens and everything, and you're like, oh my god, I can finally play around with color. No, no, you can't. So let me do some sort of an eye look with this. I'm going to try and zoom this in even further so that you can really see my struggle, my strug to funk face. I'm grabbing a big packed fluffy brush, and I'm just going to go into some sort of a nudie shade. There's no nude tone here, so I'm going to just go straight into a brownie shade. This kind of chocolatey shade here, that's nice enough. I'm grabbing A blending brush. The fallout is so bad. Okay. You've seen fallout before, you don't need to like be shown just how, you know, powdery the shade is. But holy fuck, that's actually not too bad. God damn it, I swear to God, if this like works beautifully, I will be like pissed off. There's a lot of fallout for not really a lot of pigment, and because there isn't a lot of pigment, it also is kind of, I hate this camera. It is also really patchy. Yeah. No, this shade is I mean, all of this fucking palette is just not good. I told you, it's not gonna be saved. It's bad, okay? More intense chocolatey shade on this, and I'm just going to try and define the crease further. The problem with all of these shades, to be honest, apart from everything that I've already said, is that they don't actually on the eye the way they do in the palette, and that's infuriating because I was hoping for like a pretty chocolatey shade. Like, this is the shade I'm putting on my eye. Can you see this shade anywhere on my eye? No, you can't. I want to grab something darker, and there's no really a dark brown, so I'm gonna grab black. Can I really, ooh. Can I like smoke out the, fuck, okay, that's a lot of pigment. Okay, why does the black work then? What the fuck? Actually, one of the better blacks I've used. Fuck, what the fuck is this video? This video is like up and down, up and down, up and down, and this camera is literally murdering me. I do want to use this cream shade from NYX Lingerie. This is an eye cream eyeshadow, and the reason I don't like this one is because it doesn't look very popping. Like, if I'm putting something like Stila or something, you know, cream shadow on my eye, I want it to blend and be popping. And this doesn't really do either very well. I feel like you really need to set it with some... Yeah, you need to set it with some more shimmer, because the more you blend it, the less exciting it gets. And the less you blend it, the more disgusting it looks. So, what I'm gonna do to try and save the day, I am putting this golden shade from this palette on top of that. And that's sure enough giving it a little bit more of a kick. Neither of those shades on their own would have like done the job, but together they're like not bad. They're not really blended all that well. Okay, I said color on the lower lash, so let's do color on the lower lash. I'm thinking blue. Yeah, and I'm gonna try and put this blue all over my lower lash and see just how that works. This video is so fucking ridiculous. This blue looks really fucking good, and I hate myself. I fucking hate myself. Try and pack some more of that blue just into that black there. Holy fuck, that looks good, I swear to God. If this transition shade was better, if this brown was actually nice and smoky, this would be such a good eye, I swear to God. I put this blue in my waterline. This is from Maybelline, New York again, just this like blue retractable waterline pencil. I don't necessarily hate it, but I don't think it's that great. It doesn't have that much pigment, and it kind of, my eyes water a lot, so it just dissipates very quickly. Really tempted to do winged liner because I know that will fuck everything up, so give me 2 seconds. Okay, you know that I've set this video up for failure when I'm bringing out the MAC liner. This is, what is this called? The penultimate eyeliner in Rapid Black. If you go on the MAC website and look this liner up, it has like 0 fucking stars. It has the worst rating on the MAC websites ever because it's just bad. Look at it. It is very patchy, it skips, and it's like grey rather than black. So bad. Oh, holy fuck, that looks just tremendous. In case anybody ever asks why I don't do winged liner, well, this is why. I can't fucking do it, and this is the worst tool for it in the fucking world, so let's leave it at that. I don't have a mascara that I hate, but let me zoom this out, let me do my mascara, and let's do some lips. This is actually quite an unfortunate turn of events with this lipstick, because I actually really wanted to like this. This is, I mean, Kimchi is one of my favorite RuPaul Drag Race drag queens, and Sugar Pill has some really nice makeup and lipsticks, but this one is, the color is not that fantastic, but I can kind of live with it. But I feel like this is so watery when you apply this. Usually liquid lipsticks are a bit more thick in consistency, so that when you apply it, it kind of just glides on and covers everything in one swipe. This really doesn't. This is so liquidy that it kind of skips and grabs and isn't very opaque. You can see there, you can still see my red lips shining and poking through. You really can't overdraw with this lipstick very well because you need more pigment for that, and this just doesn't really give you all that much. It's too watery, and it's actually pretty uncomfortable to wear once it dries down. It takes a very hot sec to dry down, and once it does, it's very kind of sticky and it sits on top of your lips. So putting any more than one layer is very uncomfortable, and wearing only one layer is just not really opaque. I'm going to leave it at that. I hope you enjoyed this kind of a disastrous video. I mean, honestly, it wasn't bad because all of the makeup was bad. It was bad because it wasn't bad. It was supposed to be really kind of catastrophic makeup that I hate, but I guess some of this stuff I just have prejudice against or something, because the blue on the lower lash actually looked really nice. So as always, subscription to this channel is very optional, but if you decide to subscribe, I hope you enjoy your stay. And another thing is that I hope you hit that notification bell, because I keep getting more and more subscribers, but my views on each video are not actually rising. That just means that people are subscribing to my channel because they watched a video or two and really enjoyed it, and they're not seeing any of my content coming through because YouTube is a fuckwit, basically, is what the truth is. So hit that notification bell, because that's the only way in which you'll be notified of my videos. And that's all from me. I'm gonna see you in my next video. Goodbye!